Hey everyone, welcome to the Hair Transplant channel. My name is Joe Tillman and you're watching the official YouTube channel for hairtransplantmentor.com. And if you don't know what a hair transplant mentor is, once this video is done, not before, but after, you can head on over there to learn all about it. Today we're talking about Dr. Aaron Nusbaum. It's been 1 year since I introduced him, since I premiered the video where I'm introducing him as an accepted member to hairtransplantmentor.com. And yeah, it's time for an update. Yeah, that original video, which was May 9th of 2020, when I first introduced Dr. Nusbaum as an accepted member of hairtransplantmentor.com. And there's a lot of great response, like a lot of great comments, and people were really supportive because, hey, you guys saw what I saw. I pick winners, I don't pick losers, and I think that you'll see after 1 year the quality is still there. And yeah, so more feedback I've gotten from patients. Whenever I do introduce a new clinic, that clinic gets a lot of new attention, and a lot of people start contacting them for surgery or non-surgical evaluations, even just consultations to see what options are. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback. People contacting the clinic, talking to Dr. Nusbaum, and even having surgery, or at least having something done. And all of them have, or all the ones that have gotten back to me anyway, have reported just nothing but great things. And I love hearing that. And that's always a good thing. So I'm happy to report that it's all positive. But 1 year on, it's nice to get a bunch of great comments from patients that have gone to visit him. But what are the results like 1 year out? And, I've been doing something different with my clinics lately where I'm focusing in on some specific issues that I think people want to look at. And in this case, 1 year on, let's just look at Dr. Nusbaum's hairlines in particular. I got several cases here. So in order to avoid this being another 20 to 30 minute long video, let's just get busy. Right, so this first case is a really nice case to start off with. It's a small case. We're looking at 1,349 grafts in one procedure. And just like all of Dr. Nussbaum's hairlines, I really like the before images just because he's so meticulous with his outlines that he draws in before the surgery. These are never, ever the final design. This is just a guide for any doctor, but he's really particular about his guides, about his outlines, and I like that. Like, it may not wind up being exactly as he's drawn out, but it's nice to see that he puts that kind of effort into, kind of giving himself a mental image, if not an actual image of where he wants to place the graft. So it's nice, not just because of the way that he pays attention to everything, but also because of the result. You can see a nice staggered kind of undulation in this frontal hairline, and from the side, from this kind of quarter angle, really nice placement with the density as well. And we're not seeing multi-hair grafts. I mean, that's just something we're not going to see. That's unusual in any great degree because they are using microscopes to refine any multi-hair grafts down into singles and make sure that the singles that they're using are actual singles. For naturalness, that's what it comes down to. But in this case, also density. Next case up is 1,590, that's 1,590 in one session. And what I like about this case is when we're looking at this quarter angle shot here, you can see the obvious thinning above this transition zone. You can see where the temple starts to come down the side, and then the hairline, it's higher up here. But then as we go into the result, again, 1,590 grafts, we got really nice density, just nice natural placement. But what I liked about this is we can see that juncture, that transition where the hairline and the temple, it's a nice right angle, and there's not a screw up of placement. This is one of the most difficult areas for surgeons to recreate without looking unnatural. And the problem usually has to do with angle and direction, but also the angle of the placement in relation to the plane of the scalp. In other words, usually in this area, you'll see hairs that are sticking out at funky angles, kind of off to, not sticking out like this, like an airplane wing, but kind of out and forward, because they're trying to recreate a transition zone where there isn't one. Dr. Nusbaum nailed this, where there's no mishmash of directions and angles. It's really nice work and spot on. Next result, fine hair. What's the number? 1,851 grafts. Looks really good. Like, there's the undulation. There's the natural kind of lack of symmetry and lack of, you know, straightness and perfection as far as the lines, and that's usually a strong giveaway that it's unnatural, or excuse me, that it's man-made. But in this case, you've got these undulations up in the hairline that is what you would find in nature, and it's beautiful. Like, I love seeing this. And when you have fine hair that has a density like this, it's easy to see where 1,850 grafts or 1,851 grafts went, because you'll need every single one of those grafts to grow. So we got to have a nice high yield for a full dense result like this. It's a little bit damp, which helps to make it look a little bit thinner than if it were dry. But this is beautiful work, and it would not be performed any better by any other surgeon on the planet. This is great stuff. This next result is a little bit more interesting. It's kind of like, it's not really a repair case. He did have work at another clinic before. I don't know the details of this. I don't know if they tried to lower the hairline below where it is currently in this before image. But again, this is like that previous case where I was talking about the temple juncture, where it meets the hairline, where you can see, you know, by the way, the yellowness on the skin here, that's an iodine antibacterial treatment. So it's right before surgery. So you can see how high up this is, right? It goes pretty high up into the temple, and then the temple region here, the frontal temple point, or the top of the juncture actually, is completely barren of a hairline. So there's nothing in the hairline it's meeting at the temple juncture, because it's really receded up. But once we look at the result, 2,009 grafts in one procedure, again, we have the beautiful creation of that juncture. You got the hairline moving nicely forward in a natural direction, the way it should be. Placement looks really nice, density looks really nice, but where it's meeting that temple juncture is flawless. There is no, you know, fanning of the hairs sticking out. There's no strange, funny directions. It's sharp, it's spot on, and this is what you would find in nature. You can't find better work anywhere else. Like, a lot of doctors can match this. A lot of great doctors can match this. But this is what good hair surgeons do when they're dealing with these kinds of cases. Next case, 2,097 grafts, again in one procedure. It's nice because we've got a left angle, and then we've got a right angle, and then the front, and we can see that it's fine hair, which is more difficult to work with, more delicate, more fragile. One session, it looks like a beautiful result. And what I like about this angle here is we can see those hairs exiting the scalp. Nice singles, very natural appearance, perfectly executed. Like, you can't ask for better than this. Going a little bit back down in size, 1,829 grafts in one procedure. Again, we've got fine hair. And then when we look at the final result, what I like about this angle is we can see that it's almost like a little bit of a temple, or excuse me, a devil's peak was created. And devil's peak? A widow's peak. The widow's peak was recreated. I don't know why I thought devil's peak. I have no idea. But a widow's peak, nicely recreated, and you'd never pick this out as being recreated by the hand of a doctor. You'd never guess he lost any hair. Right, so that's it. Like I told you, I wanted to keep this kind of short. I didn't want this to be a long 20 to 30 minute video, which has basically been my pattern lately with videos. Now, I left some of the information about these cases out of the discussion, out of the presentation, because I wanted to save them till the end. because I want to, it's kind of condensing things, but it's also a little bit of a surprise. So every case that you saw that I presented, except for one, was an ARTIS FUE case. Notice I didn't say it was FUE, I didn't say it was strip, I didn't say what or how the procedure was performed, because all of them, except one, were performed using the ARTIS, Restoration Robotics ARTIS robot, and then using microscopes. The team, the technicians at Miami Hair Institute refined and made sure that the grafts were healthy and as they were supposed to be, singles or singles, doubles or doubles, triples or triples, so on and so forth, for those results. And well done. Again, the tool is only as good as the hand that wields it. And that's one thing I love about the group of doctors that I work with. They all approach their surgery in a different way, but they all do excellent work, natural work with good density, with proper angles and direction and donor management, the whole 9 yards, to where honestly, going from patient to patient, if I were to put them all into one video, I could have you try to guess which doctor performed the surgery and you wouldn't know, because that's the quality of doctors that I choose to work with. The one that wasn't an ARTIS procedure, it was a strip surgery, and it was the last one I pointed to, 1,829 grafts, I think. It was the last one I just showed you. So there you go. One strip case, the rest were all ARTIS FUE cases. So that's it. That's an update for Dr. Aaron Nusbaum of Miami Hair Institute in Miami, Florida. You can learn more about Dr. Nusbaum at miamihair.com. And of course, check out my website, hairtransplantmentor.com, and look in the doctor's reference section to find my thoughts on Dr. Aaron Nusbaum. And of course, you can check out this, this tag here for the introductory video if you haven't seen it yet, where I first talk about Dr. Nusbaum and why I think that he's hair transplant mentor material. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching this. If you haven't subscribed, of course, click subscribe. I got a lot of great new content coming out soon. Ring the notification bell or click it so you're notified of when those videos come out. And of course, if you thought this was a great video, click that like button. Appreciate it very much. Peace.